Welcome to the Independent Contractor Orientation. If you're here, it's likely because you've been selected as one of the best cleaning professionals due to your experience, skills, and other attributes. Because of this, you've been given the opportunity to partner with a cleaning company in your area and accept jobs as they become available. In this video, we're going to briefly go over some expectations with you so that you can get started off on the right foot. So without further ado, let's jump right in. It's important to remember that you are a 1099, an independent contractor, not a W-2 employee. There's a difference. You're essentially a sole proprietor. You are your own business owner. An employee works for somebody else. You work with others. Because of this classification, you have more responsibility than a W-2 employee would. Remember, you are a business owner. You are responsible for your own supplies and equipment. You may also be responsible for invoicing your company to get paid. Moving on, it's your responsibility to come across professionally to your company's customers. Along with invoicing, you are also responsible for accounting and bookkeeping. You may already be aware of this. These are things that are not necessarily required for a W-2 employee. However, it's important for you to maintain accurate records of all of your income and expenses for tax purposes. As you can see, you do have more responsibility than an employee. However, in this situation, more responsibility means you can make a lot more money as an independent cleaner than you could as an employee. Moving on, let's briefly discuss non-solicitation. There's a good chance that you had to sign a non-solicitation agreement before being able to work with your cleaning company. I want to point out here real quick, you are companions, not competitors, so have some integrity and don't steal customers. Many times these cleaning companies have to shell out a lot of money for advertising, and then they have to support those customers. All of this costs money. Stealing customers is wrong, and it can actually get you in a lot of trouble. Again, if you sign a non-solicitation agreement, there's a good chance that you could potentially incur penalties up to $10,000. And many of these non-solicitation agreements do actually hold up in court. Your goal should be to keep a long-standing working relationship with your cleaning company. You're providing an important service for them in terms of your professional cleaning services that you're offering, and they're providing you with customer opportunities, income opportunities. It's a benefit to both parties, so again, try to keep a long-standing relationship by not stealing customers. And remember, when you're at a client's home, you are there on behalf of that cleaning company, unless it's your own customer, of course. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about volume. It will likely start out slow in the beginning. Don't expect that you're going to come in and be able to cherry pick from 10 or 20 different jobs and fill up your schedule immediately. Although that may be the case in some scenarios, in most cases, it'll start slow and pick up over time. And there's a lot of factors that play into that. Factors that have to deal directly with the company, their advertising budget, their existing customer base. So ideally, you have your own customers. If you don't, that's of course fine. However, you should be aware that the cleaning company that you're working with is not responsible for providing you with ample job opportunities. Now, of course, they want to provide you with as many job opportunities as possible, but they're not required to do so. As I said before, there are many factors that play into this. Another one is seasonality. In some places around the country, even cleaning services can be seasonal. That means that during certain months out of the year, business may slow down some. This is especially true in the Midwest and the northern states, all across the country. So if you're being onboarded in late fall or winter, it may be a little bit before you see jobs start to pick up. The takeaway here is to just be patient and be communicative with your cleaning company. Communicate with them back and forth. Get a gauge and feel on what they're currently doing to get more customers and to provide you with job opportunities. With that said, when you actually do pick up a job, make sure you actually show up to that job. Some pitfalls that we've seen in the past is when independent cleaners will overbook themselves. You also want to know your limitations. If you're a single cleaner, meaning that it's just you going and doing these cleanings, it may not be a good idea for you to choose a 5,000 square foot move-out clean. Know your limitations, know what jobs you can successfully complete, and what jobs you cannot. Remember, if you accept that job, you are expected to show up and complete it on time. Last-minute cancellations are not tolerated. Of course, we understand that things come up and that there are emergencies that happen from time to time. If that's the case, make sure you communicate effectively with your company. After a job is completed, you might be wondering how you will be paid. The answer here is it depends. Every company likes to pay a little bit differently. Here are some of the most common payment methods. Some companies like to write checks. Others despise paper and would much rather pay you via ACH, otherwise known as direct deposit. Many times companies will use a payroll software like Sure Payroll or Gusto to directly deposit funds into your bank account. If that's the case, you'll want to make sure that you set up the banking information during the onboarding process with your company. They'll likely send you an invite to the software, and you'll simply input your routing and account number and then finalize your account. Some companies want you to invoice them. This is very common. If you think about a general contractor hiring painters, HVAC companies, plumbers to come in and complete new construction on a house, they're not going to direct deposit funds into those subcontractors' bank accounts. The plumber, the HVAC company, and the painting company will likely invoice that general contractor later. This is no different. You are essentially a subcontractor invoicing the cleaning company for services rendered. To finish things off, most companies are going to pay you on either a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Some may even pay you when you invoice them. Most companies are going to have some cadence to when they pay, like I said, weekly, bi-weekly, or even a monthly basis. Communicate with your cleaning company to learn more about the systems they have in place for paying contractors. Let's take a moment to wrap things up here. Remember, it's important that above all else, you maintain a high level of professionalism. Be patient. Remember, you have increased responsibilities, but with that, you'll be able to enjoy increased earnings. And lastly, if you don't know, just ask. It's better for you to reach out to your company and ask if you have questions about something than to assume. Many company owners take it as a good sign if you reach out to them and you ask good questions. That shows us that you care about working with us. So I hope you found this video helpful. Go ahead and take a moment now to complete the rest of the orientation videos in this independent contractor orientation course. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.